A CNN data analyst just issued even more dire news for Donald Trump and the Republican Party. What do you think, folks? Should we take bets on if Trump actually pays attention? Seems like it would be easy money. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. Conventional wisdom holds that Donald Trump won re-election in 2024 by campaigning on affordability. He vowed to lower the prices of groceries, gasoline, and other basic needs that face the American people. Since returning to office, however, he's managed to drive up prices through his tariff policies and his general disconnect from reality. Not that he seems to notice. Let's look at a little breakdown, shall we?
Inflation is way down. The biggest thing is inflation. The second biggest thing is energy. Energy is way down, and what's also down? Gasoline. Also, the biggest thing is inflation, and it's way down. The reason I don't want to talk about affordability is because everybody knows that it's far less expensive under Trump than it was under Sleepy Joe Biden. And the prices are way down.
Pretty angry there. Here's the issue. Inflation is actually real. Many prices are not actually falling. They are actually rising. And the American people, you, every day when you go to the grocery store, when you buy gas, you see it, you feel it every single day. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in September, the annual inflation rate rose to 3%. Driving that increase, gas prices, which rose more than 4% from August. Groceries are up under President Trump. Consumer Price Index data shows that average grocery prices were 2.7% higher in September of this year than they were in September of 2024. Polls show not just that the American people are noticing higher prices, but also that they are blaming President Trump for it. 71% of Americans say that they're spending more money on groceries now than they did last year. That's according to a Washington Post poll that was conducted late last month. And 59% of Americans blame President Trump either a great amount or a good amount for the current rate of inflation. Now, President Trump can often convince his supporters to see things his way. Through relentless repetition, he has convinced millions of Americans to believe, for instance, that the 2020 election was stolen from him, to believe that January 6th was anything other than a violent insurrection. But inflation is a different thing. People see the prices going up. They feel the prices going up.
And if you think those numbers are brutal, stick around. We have more for you that should have Trump in a panic. For the record, it's not totally clear if Trump is even aware of the reality of his economy. He loves to say prices have fallen 200%, but of course, if that was the case, companies would be paying consumers to take goods off their hands. I don't know about you, but when I went by the gas station last night, gas was $5.79 a gallon, which doesn't exactly qualify as a giveaway. Thank goodness I drive an electric. But I digress. With Trump swimming in delusion and the economy teetering on disaster, CNN just added fuel to the fire. This morning, data analyst Harry Eaton unveiled some new numbers that should have Trump and all Republicans in major damage control mode. Take a look.
Politicians can say politician things,
yes,
but where are things with the economy right now and how people are feeling about it?
Yeah, what President Trump is trying to sell, the American folks aren't buying, and we can see it pretty simply here. Take a look here. This is consumer sentiment, the current conditions. Consumer sentiment could be the current conditions or it can be future expectations. We're looking at current conditions. And get this, according to the University of Michigan, we are dealing with the worst ever view of current conditions dating all the way back since 1951. This is record-breaking in the way you don't want to be breaking records. And get this, Kate, it is down 30%. Consumer sentiment of current conditions down 30% from January when Donald Trump took office. No bueno.
That is significant and something you can't ignore. You shouldn't ignore.
No, you should not.
Ignore to your peril. But they do not feel good about the economy. How much are they blaming this on President Trump?
Yeah, it would be one thing that President Trump could ignore it if folks weren't blaming him for it. But take a look here. Trump blamed. Trump's policies have worsened economic conditions in America. Look at this. We're dealing with a super majority here. We're talking about more than 3 in 5 Americans, 61%, who say that Trump's policies have worsened economic conditions in America. How about worsened your own finances? Again, we're dealing with a majority here. 51% of Americans say that Trump's policies have worsened your own finances. This is double trouble for the President of the United States. When you're dealing with consumer sentiment of current conditions being record-breaking in the wrong ways, being record-breaking for the worst ever since 1951, and you're dealing with a supermajority who say that your policies have worsened economic conditions in America, and you're dealing with a majority who say your policies have worsened the folks' own finances, that is, ay caramba, no good.
Yeah, no matter what, you would prefer to not have this.
No, you would prefer not to, Kate.
What about the slice of the electorate both parties need and is what decides elections? Independence.
Yeah, okay. And, oftentimes we talk about independence, and sometimes that group of voters includes folks who lean either the Republican or Democratic side. I decide to look at pure independents, okay. Those who don't lean towards either side. And look at this, disapprove of Trump on the economy among pure independents. We're talking about 4 in 5. 4 in 5, 79%. I'm laughing because you rarely ever see a number this high. 79% of pure independents disapprove of Trump on the economy. How about this? This is no outlier, Kate. This is no outlier because look at Marquette University, their law school. 76% of pure independents disapprove of Trump on the economy. When you put it all together with the approval ratings, it averages out to a net approval rating on the economy among pure independents of, get this, minus 58 points.
The worst consumer confidence ever, and Trump keeps making it worse, and almost 80% of independent Americans feel that way? That's breathtaking. Almost as breathtaking as it is to watch Trump and the Republicans try to explain it all away as a Biden economy or claim that the economy is in much better shape than it actually is. The gaslighting knows no bounds. And the irony to all of this is that Trump is defending his tariffs before the Supreme Court right now. The best thing that could happen to him is that the High Court nixes the tariffs, which would jumpstart the economy and immediately lower prices. Leave it to a loser like Donald Trump to actually have to lose in order to win politically. But what would you expect? This is the same man who lost a fortune in real estate and became totally irrelevant, which is what allowed him to do a little reality show called The Apprentice, which revived his career. And of course, the cancellation of The Apprentice led him into politics. Too bad that won't translate to wins for other Republicans in the midterms next year. But Trump was right about one thing. He said we would get tired of winning. As Americans look at their pocketbooks, they'll be praying for a Trump loss. It might be the only way to actually win again. This is Occupy Democrats.